A good set of headers can make or break power, but when does they no longer matter that much? So what long tube headers do is each pulse creates a vacuum which pulls the next pulse out of the cylinder. But that's not the only thing it does. So the vacuum is not only pulling the exhaust charge through and evacuating the cylinder, what it's actually also doing is helping the intake charge come through during overlap. Overlap is when both valves are open at the same time. That exhaust pulse, that vacuum that's created with those headers, actually helps pull in the fresh air out of the intake, helping with more cylinder fill, getting the cylinder, more in it to make more power. That's what scavenging is trying to accomplish. And if you have a naturally aspirated motor, that can make or break your horsepower. Naturally aspirated though, let me explain. If you're running a turbocharger or a supercharger on your motor, you're no longer relying on scavenging to help fill the intake. The intake is getting forced to be filled from up top. And during overlap, instead of this helping evacuate, that is just blowing everything out. That's why on dragsters they have the big, zoomies. Nothing's even connected because scavenging becomes kind of a mute point as soon as you start forcing air into the engine. There's two types of engines. There's one that relies on vacuum, and there's one that relies on induction, forced induction. Now that's not to say you can't utilize scavenging on a good turbo or supercharger setup. What that's going to do is it's going to lessen the amount of boost you get while retaining the same amount of power. Boost, a lot of people think boost is power. Boost is not power. Boost is a restriction. The less boost you can make with making the same amount of power, your motor is going to run better. It's not going to get so hot because the more boost you have, the more heat. So good scavenging is still important, just no longer for the power making, more for just engine longevity. So there you go, that's scavenging in a nutshell, when it's important and when it's not so important for making power. Right? We'll catch you next time.